Chocolate red wine. Can it be done? Well, we'll find out today on Happy Chick. Hi everyone, I'm Lee and welcome to Happy Chick. Today we are experimenting. I'm making chocolate red wine. You heard me right, chocolate red wine. Now you've seen in the grocery stores the chocolate red wines. They almost look like chocolate milk that red wine's been added to. That's not what I'm going for. I'm going for a chocolate infused red wine. And how I'm accomplishing that is I've made a batch of my sweet cheap red wine. Here it is. It's all done. There's no lees, nothing. She's done and complete. So she came out to about 9.98%, a little lower than I wanted it to be, but that's okay. I think I did cut down the sugar just a little bit. I don't remember. I didn't write that down. If I can figure out how to link videos, I'll link it down below. If not, then I'll write the recipe out. But you can search my videos and look for this cheap sweet red wine, and that will get you here. For the chocolate part, I did some research, and a lot of the recipes have the powdered cocoa that they add to it, and to me that just, I don't know if that would, be any good. I mean, it's so fine that I don't think it would, it would take a long time to filter out, down to make a Lee, like a Lee's pack, a puck or whatever. And I don't know if that would give a good chocolate flavor. So I mixed like the Hershey's cocoa or the Nestle's cocoa, the cocoa powder, the Dutch powder, Dutch cocoa or that. So no, not on those. So I thought, well, what else can I use? Well, I came across some cocoa nibs. Now, cocoa nibs are, it's 100% pure cocoa superfood cocoa nibs. These are the cocoa beans outer casing, and they're like a superfood. They're healthy for you. They've got vitamins and minerals and things like that. So they're supposed to be like a superfood thingy. So they're just crushed cocoa beans basically, and then it's that's it. So you can use those. You use them for like cocoa flavoring, like crunchy, like if you want to throw it in like granola, or a little bit on like your ice cream or desserts or something like that. So to give you that little coconut flavor of sorts to desserts and stuff like that. They look like they almost look like crushed rough crushed coffee beans. They're just like that. I don't know if you can get a good look at that, like that. Okay, anyway, they have that chocolate smell to them and a little bit of the chocolate taste to them. So I thought that would be the route to go. So I lightly toasted mine. So mine's a little bit darker, just to bring out that toasty not coconut, toasty chocolate flavor and aroma. So we're going to add that to there, the red wine, let it infuse, and then come back and try it. It's kind of like when you infuse wine with like wood spirals and things like that, I think, or secondary, what they call secondary fermentation, where you infuse like other flavors, or if you used, you know, like a fruit or something like that, you want that in there for a stronger fruit flavor. Something similar. So I have 2 ounces, which is 58 grams of the cocoa nibs. I lightly toasted them. So I put them in a fry pan, dry fry pan on medium to low, and just kind of shook them around for like maybe 5 minutes, just to kind of warm them up just a little bit, to open them up so that hopefully the wine will get all that chocolatey goodness. For how long to infuse? I don't know. A couple weeks, I would think. You know, so we're gonna do that. We'll aim for like 2 weeks, and then I'll try it and see. Now the red wine, cheap sweet red wine, is good. Yeah, I think I did cut the sugar down just a little bit on this because it's not nearly as sweet as I remember. But it is a little higher on the sweetness than most of the wines that I've been going for right now. It ended up at a 1036, which gave me a 9.98%. So this is really a nice sweet red wine just for drinking every day. So I thought that would be a great base for this. So all I have is a this is like an almond milking bag. It's perfect for small things like this. I'm going to go ahead and put my chocolate cocoa nibs in there, all of them. And I wish I had a weight or something, because this will end up floating, unfortunately. But I'm going to tighten this up so that they can move around a little bit, but they're not like in this bag completely. Let's do about there. And I've got a rubber band that I'm going to tighten this up with, because if I do a knot, I'll never get it out, you know. Okay. That should be good. Okay. So we're going to put this in here. It should be big enough to do that. Now, if you had something like those glass marbles that weigh things down or something like that, that would be perfect. So that's all the way submerged. So this will end up floating. So I'm going to have to kind of swoosh it just a little bit, just to make sure that the cocoa nibs stay wet. That's the key. You want these to stay wet. Otherwise molds and stuff can start, you know. The netting has been sanitized. A couple was sanitized, but you can't sanitize the nibs very well. I mean, I toasted them, so, but they probably didn't get that hot. So you do want to make sure that they are completely submerged, or at least wet, throughout this process. So I'm just going to go ahead and chuck those in. It might not be too bad because the nibs do weigh a bit. Okay, put the lid on, and we will come back in about 2 weeks to check this and see how the flavoring is. I'm hoping this works. I figured 2 ounces would be plenty. We'll find out. Until the next video, we'll see you next time. Alright, so 3 weeks have gone by with the red wine, sweet cheap red wine that I made. And we have infused with the cocoa nibs. I toasted those slightly. And then it's been about 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks. So I think they're probably ready. At least we're going to try it. We're going to see how it goes. It may need longer, but I figured 3 weeks probably is a good start. So let's go ahead and pull this bag out. Let that drain for just a few minutes. Should have had a colander. Okay, drop it in there. Actually, that's what I'm going to do. Alrighty. I just put that in a colander in a bag. That way it can drain. Alright. Now, with the smell, it doesn't really smell a whole lot like chocolate. But, you know, we're also going to do specific gravity just to make sure that it hasn't changed any. I'm pretty sure it hasn't. But, you know, it doesn't hurt to check it. Last time we looked at it, it was just a hair under 10%. It's a little bit lower than I was anticipating. But, you know, it's okay. It's really the flavor that we're looking for, not the alcohol, you know, so. All right, try not to jostle it, just in case there is any little bit of clearing that, you know, happened in the meantime. Any sediment, because if there is any sediments, we don't want it. All right, so it's at, let's see, 10. What did I say it was at? 10:36. Yeah. Let's see here. I really need to get a new hydrometer because it kind of leans. Yeah, hasn't changed. 10:36. All right, so 10:36. We're at 1.036. So ABV final still is 9.98%. All good. Okay. Now, let's get a taste of this, because this is what we're really after. It is so pretty. Such a pretty red. Poured more than I anticipated. I'm going to gently pour this back in, trying not to disturb too much. There we go. Cover that up again. All right. Look at that color. I mean, that is just a beautiful burgundy red. It has gotten a lot darker with the cocoa nibs. I mean, it's a dark, you know, red anyway, but with the cocoa nibs, it just has brought in a little bit more of a browner tone to it. You know, it's a pretty color, pretty ruby color. Okay, I get a little bit of a chocolate scent, but the red wine is more overpowering. Let me aerate it. Woo! Not spill it, aerate it a little. Sometimes if you aerate just a hair, swirl it, you know, and that lets the volatiles come out. Yeah, I smell a little bit of chocolate, but not a whole lot. Listen. Taste it. Wow. That's good. It doesn't taste, I mean, because it did end up being a little bit sweeter than I was hoping it'd be. But that is a sweet red wine, so, you know, hello. But with the chocolate, it tempered it down a little bit, which I was hoping anyway, because it's not sweetened or anything with the cocoa nibs. So I was hoping that the cocoa bitterness would kind of take away from that sweetness, and it really did. It's not overpowering. It's not overpowering. Powering. I can't talk today. It's not overpowering flavor of chocolate. It's just a hint of it. Oh, this is... Finishes chocolate. It doesn't really start chocolatey. It starts red wine, and it just has that little bit of velvety chocolate at the end. You could definitely probably stew this a little bit longer, but I think it's bang on good. I think it's good. I think it's going to be blah, blah, blah. haven't been drinking, I promise. I think it's time to bottle this. Ooh. That's pretty good. That's really good. It is sweet, but it's not overly sweet. Wow. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and bottle. Let's see here. Should I? I'm gonna transfer it into a pitcher and then transfer it into bottles, just in case there is any sediment that's down there that I can't see because it's so dark. Just in case, you know, there probably isn't, but you never know. All right, got my auto siphon, and I'm gonna go just roughly down about a halfway through, just in case there are any leaves that I want to avoid, so, or, you know, sediment or anything. There we go. All right, we'll be back in just a minute. All right. So there is no sediment whatsoever, so it's perfect. So let's go ahead and get these things bottled. Of course, you know my routine. I always have one little bottle for my 1-year anniversary of bottling it. And then I've got several other bottles. Hopefully I have enough. Almost a gallon, so I love it when it's like almost full. Of course, I've got my bottling wand. It's got the little trigger on there. And let's go ahead and get this going. So I can drop this all the way down to the bottom because there's no leaves or anything. I'm going to put this all the way into the bottle, and you have to depress it, the spring load, to be able to get it to start siphoning. So let's go ahead and pump to get this going. Here we go. And we will be back in just a little bit. Awesome possum. I ended up with my, of course, my sample bottle for a 1-year anniversary. And I've got 2 regular bottles and 1 of my big bottles. So we are set. So this is the conclusion of the chocolate red wine. See, you can See, you can infuse any flavor that you want to into this red wine, the cheap sweet red wine. And that, of course, will be linked down below for making it. You could do some mulled spices, a vanilla bean, the chocolate nibs, of course. Woo! I mean, any kind of thing that you, spice-wise, that you think might work with red wine, try it. If you don't want to do a big batch like this, put them in smaller quart-sized jars and take, you know, sample that way. They've already been fermented. You don't have to worry about, you know, airlocks and stuff like that. Although you probably should put it under an airlock, just to keep, you know, be safe. We don't want any bottle bombs. You know, accidents do happen. But experiment. That's the beauty of these wines, is that we experiment and try new things and new flavors. And so, I mean, this was really simple and it turned out great. So, you know, if you want a chocolatier flavor, add more nibs. Leave it in longer. All sorts of things. And we don't have to worry about that cocoa mess that some recipes have been shown. So, easy peasy. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy this wine. If you try it, let me know down below if you have tried this, or is planning to, or have tried something else. Let's conversation down below other ideas. I have a few coming up. I hope you enjoyed. Bye. Have a great day.